Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast and welcome to Left Back Hub, the only position that we seem to be linked with in this window is in the left back area. But in all seriousness, welcome to Transfer Hub, where we take a look at all the links and the rumours surrounding players potentially coming and leaving Aston Villa inside a transfer window. So we have got a link coming from La Roma 24, which says the following. In recent days, we had talked about interests that had moved from the Premier League for Leonardo Spinazzola, who in June will close his experience at Roma as agent. David Lippi also confessed, practically eliminating the possibilities of a contract renewal. The teams that have shown interest in Roma's 1993 class outfielder are Aston Villa and Arsenal. So that is where this rumour and this link is coming from. Again, we are linked with another left back, which on a lot of your minds, on my mind, isn't a priority. But if it's a priority for Unai Emery, then it becomes a priority for me. And I guess it becomes a priority for all of you, really. And I think when we did the episode about Acuna a couple of days ago, we were speaking about the potential of having three left backs. Doesn't really feel like that would be an option. So it would potentially mean that a left back would be leaving. And that's the only way I can see making sense of us signing a left back. And again, you know, with context, we go to our team and we look at our team and we know it's a functioning team all over. We know that, you know, in the past, we've been crying out for a player that will play in the number 10 or crying out for a striker or a goal scorer or just somebody that's going to drive us forward and get goals and be creative and pin all of our hopes on one player that's just going to... We go to a game and we think if he doesn't do it, then we won't win a game. And we're not that team anymore. And you know, we've seen that this area especially is very crucial to the way that we play. We've seen that this position is very crucial to the way that we play. This position, very crucial. This position, they're all crucial. They all do their own thing of intertwining and connecting Villa and making Aston Villa tick forward. We know the left back acts as a winger, making up, you know, a midfield 4 or 5. We know that the right back will tuck inside. We know Kamara will screen and cover. We know we like this back three. But then we've also shown that if we want to go a little bit more attacking, we can add that. And then you sort of get that left midfielder. You've got another one. You've got another, and then you're making a 5 in midfield. So, you know, I think when we can be linked with left backs, we can start thinking that it's just the left back. It's not just the left back. And we started to see that. But, you know, I've got to be honest and give my honest thoughts of when we've been linked with these players. And I'm kind of feeling that, you know, the more we get linked with a left back, the more in my head I start thinking we're after a left back. So I've tried to do a little bit of digging on what Lucas Digne actually gets paid, because when the Acuna link came out, it was like, we must be offloading Lucas Digne because his wages are really, really high. So I've tried to have a look at different sites of what averagely they're all saying that, because there's not a site that you can go to that will say Lucas Digne, he gets paid this amount of money. So I've tried to have a look at all different sites of what they've got Lucas Digne's wages at. And the one recurring number that I've gone on these sites and I've seen is that he gets paid 120 grand a week. And I'm not just selling Lucas Digne. Why would I do that? He's playing absolutely amazing. He's doing really well. But the only way I can see these left back links is if one of them's leaving. I don't want any of them to leave. I really like Luke Dean. I think he's been fantastic this season. I think he's been the Luke Dean that we've wanted for the time that he's been at Villa. He's delivering, he's assisting, he's defending really, really well. Moreno's been injured. He's back in the team. He's scoring goals. He's looking a real threat. So for me, as a fan, I'm thinking that left back looks settled in. But why do we keep being linked with left backs? So I'm trying to just understand with you guys of potentially why. So I found this graphic here and basically showing the average salaries, the weekly salaries of Villa players. And some of them I understand and I can think, oh, but it's believable. A couple that I'm not sure on. Boubacar Kamara, Villa's highest paid player. Clement Longley, Villa's highest paid player. We know Longley's got a big, big contract. We know he gets paid a load of money because he plays for Barcelona. So Villa are obviously paying part of his wages. So I can imagine he's a big, big earner. So I can imagine those two. Tielemans, yes, come in. Diaby, star player, came in. I can imagine him 130 grand a week. Watkins. And then we get to that next phase here of Luke Dean on 120 grand a week, 29-year-old. And are we trying to offload that and get a player that's on less money? Because we know now with all of these FFP and these this amount of money that teams are being done for with this Forest are looking like they might be in a bit of trouble. Everton have been done. Their profit and sustainability. Are we just trying to be really, really careful and look at a player like Luke Dean's wages and think we can offload that? As bad as it sounds, I'm not trying to sell him, so don't think that I'm trying to sell him. But is that what we're thinking of trying to do and a way in which we can manage our wage budget a little bit more? If I go down now, I can't imagine Moreno's only on 35 grand a week. But I mean, if he is, it's absolutely, brilliant business for Villa to get that deal. So, in contrast, if I'm looking at Luke Dean on 120 and Moreno on 35, I mean, I'm looking at the player underneath that, and Ezri Konsa on 30. So, I'm looking at this squad and I'm thinking, that is a lot of money there. So maybe that's something that Villa are trying to do. I don't know. I'm just trying to make use of this rumour and why we keep being linked with a left back and ultimately not being linked with a right back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little look now at the player profile of Leonardo Spinazzola. I like him. I like his character. I like the way that he plays. He's quite direct. He's got quick feet. His dribbling ability is good. Pacey. His delivery is good. He's got a great eye for a pass as well. He can finish as well. We've seen that over his career. He's played at the top level with Italy. He has won the Europa League with Roma. So all of these characteristics of a player of experience is something that I think is really, really good. And I think if I look at the squad, do I think we've got enough experience? Possibly we could improve on that aspect of our squad and somebody that's just got that experience, that's been there and done it and played at, the highest level and played in Europe at the highest level as well. And, we're looking at Spinazzola and we're thinking 30 years of age in the summer will be on a free contract. So there's no fee there either. So it would be clever, savvy business from Villa to get him in on a free. With that added experience, yes, he's at the top end of 30. He's not sort of like a spring chicken 20-year-old coming through that's going to be, one for the future. But I think at times in a squad, you need that little bit of an older head in there. And I think I've heard a couple of the Villa players talking about that, we haven't really got that European experience seeping through our squad. So maybe that's one there that we're going to be looking at. So Spinazzola this season, a 6.97 SofaScore rating. As you can see on his heat map, a left back can play a little bit further forward as well, has played on that right-hand side in the past as well. This season, 14 games played, 11 started, averaging 66 minutes per game. He scored 1 goal. He has got 2 assists. He's got a passing accuracy of 80, accuracy in his own half, 91. We've got, let's have a look at some of his tackling. Ball recoveries per game, very high at 3.6. We've got successful dribbles, 50. Total duels won, 52. So he's winning every other duel. Ground duels, 51%. Aerial duels, which I think is a big thing for Spinazzola, is at 63%. Aerially, will add a little bit more height to our team, a little bit more stature. He's got a really, really good profile. He's played for Juventus and joined Roma on the 1st of July in 2019 for 29.5 million. His market value is at 7.50 million euros. He's from Florino. Butchered it. So his market value is 7.50. He has played for Italy 24 times, scored no goals. He's played for Italy under 20 and Italy under 19s. Vast amount of experience. If we have a look at his stats per 90, why do we keep seeing him? Oh, it's gone. It's gone. I just keep seeing Rooney every time that I go on this website, and it's really annoying. So we have a look at his stats per 90. Passes attempted 52.21, pass completion 74.6, progressive passes 3.03, progressive carries, which are quite high, which is something that we like in our Villa team anyway. So that's 6.55. Successful take-ons 1.57. Progressive passes received 4.56. And his defensive stats could be a lot better. So there we go. Those are the stats on Spinazzola. So Villa fans, let me know your thoughts on this left-back situation. Do you feel like, as the more rumours come out that we were actively looking for a left back? We had Felipe Anderson, more of a left-sided attacking winger. That came out, a couple of days ago. So far in this window, we've been linked with players on that left-hand side, where I think a lot of us are wanting players on the right-hand side. But, I'm just here to react to the rumours, to react to the noise on Transfer Hub, to give my thoughts, to try and make sense of some of these rumours and some of these links as well. So it's an interesting one. It's not probably as exciting as what we want. I think the window as a whole so far, not just for Villa, for everybody, has been quiet. It's been a quiet start to the window. And we know January, you don't really get loads and loads of business done anyway. So I didn't really expect the window as a whole for the Premier League clubs to be that explosive. But, there's a lot of teams that are out there looking for strikers. I'd have liked Timo Werner at Villa. I think he's been a really good signing for Spurs. If that gets over the line, I think they're kind of doing bits in this window. So, we've kind of got to focus on ourselves, but we've kind of got to be mindful of what clubs in and around us are doing and how much, they are strengthening. Because if a team that's just below us is strengthening loads, then as a fan, it's a little bit of a worry. But I don't think it'd be a worry to Emery at all, because obviously he backs his squad and everything like that. But I think just as a fan, when you start getting a bit of squeaky bum when a team below you starts doing business, you're a bit like, oh God, what's going on here? But you just got to see how the window goes, see how the window pans out. We've got Everton coming up at the weekend as well. So that's a big, big game. We'll start all of our content coming up in the next couple of days for all of that as well. We're going live tonight for the FA Cup draw. So, if you're around tonight, stay tuned for that. Going live at 7:30. And we'll do the draw live together, and we'll have a good little chat about the FA Cup and see who we're going to get. Quite exciting, really, to see who we're going to get. In other news, I've seen some bits on Emi Buendia's recovery. He's been using a VR headset to sort of, get back on track with, loading weights on his feet and stuff. So it's great to see him sort of stepping up his recovery. And I think now we're starting to see him, in the gym, moving around a little bit. Tyrone Mings uploaded a clip yesterday on Instagram of him doing some flick ups, keepy uppies, I used to call them. Flexing that knee. Really good to see. If we can get, I think if I had to guess who's ahead in their recovery, basically just because I've seen them do more, I'd say Buendia. If we can get Buendia back for March, middle of March, Buendia, 2.5 months away, or 2 months away nearly, that would be massive. And we're crying out for Buendia at times, and I'm not sort of putting all my hopes on like Buendia being, back and firing, etc. But it'd just be such a lift to have Buendia back. And then Mings, I'm not sure where his recovery is. He's posting his images and stuff, and it looks like it's going really, really well. If we could have both of them back towards the end of the season, because we had Carlos back last season, didn't we? He was back. I remember him playing against Wolves, so he was back, and yeah, he wasn't as free flowing and firing as what he is this season. But if we can get them back at the end of the season, it'd be such a boost for both of them to play a small part this season. I'd absolutely love it. So Villa fans, let me know what your thoughts are on this left back. What do you think's going on? Because I've tried to put my spin on it. So we'll see where we are, and we'll see what you guys think in the comment section down below. So let me know your thoughts. Up the Villa.